This is Coffee with God, and I am Father Jose. Let us begin this day with the Word of God and a short reflection.
A reading from the Holy Gospel according to John, chapter 5, verses 1 to 16. Soon, another feast came around, and Jesus was back in Jerusalem. Near the sheep gate in Jerusalem there was a pool, in Hebrew called Bethzatha, with 5 alcoves. Hundreds of sick people, blind, crippled, paralyzed, were in these alcoves. One man had been an invalid there for 38 years. When Jesus saw him stretched out by the pool and knew how long he had been there, he said, "Do you want to get well?" The sick man said, "Sir, when the water is stirred, I don't have anybody to put me in the pool. By the time I get there, somebody else is already in." Jesus said, "Get up, take your bedroll, start walking." The man was healed on the spot. He picked up his bedroll and walked off. That day happened to be a Sabbath. The Jews stopped the healed man and said, "It's the Sabbath. You can't carry your bedroll around. It's against the rules." But he told them, "The man who made me well told me to. He said, 'Take your bedroll and start walking.'" They asked, "Who gave you the order to take it up and start walking?" But the healed man didn't know, for Jesus had slipped away into the crowd. A little later, Jesus found him in the temple and said, "You look wonderful. You're well. Don't return to the sinning life, or something worse might happen." The man went back and told the Jews that it was Jesus who had made him well. That is why the Jews were out to get Jesus, because he did this kind of thing on the Sabbath. The Gospel of the Lord.
Reflections on the Holy Gospel according to St. John chapter 5 verses 1 to 3 and 5 to 16. The Gospel today speaks about the miracle of Jesus at the pool of Bethzatha on a Sabbath day. Some Bible scholars think this passage is an allegory. Today's liturgy makes us reflect on water as a sign of salvation. The sick man stands for the people of Israel. The 5 porches represent the 5 books of the law. In those porches, the people lay ill. The law could show the people their sins, but could never redeem them. It could uncover people's weaknesses, but never cure them. The law, like the porches, sheltered the sick souls, but could never bring healing. The reference to 38 years could be explained as the 38 centuries of people waiting for the Messiah. The stirring of the waters stand for baptism. In early Christian church, baptism was presented with a man depicted as rising from the baptismal waters, carrying a bed upon his back. The initiative for healing in today's gospel comes from Jesus. And he asks, "Do you want to be healed?" And the answer is interesting. He doesn't say yes, but he complains about having no one to help him. "I don't have anyone to put me into the pool when the water is disturbed. While I am about to go there, I am about to decide, another gets there before me." He was asked if he wanted to be healed. The answer should have been, "Yes, I want to be healed," or "No." But his response to Jesus' offer to heal is a complaint against others. And so, 38 years complaining about others and doing nothing to get better. Jesus healed him, although he did not really ask for it. But his indecisiveness would continue. The author of the Gospel does not say whether he was happy or sad about his healing. Unlike other healing stories, he does not show any signs of happiness here. Instead, he continues to complain. "The one who healed me said to me, 'Take up your mat and walk.'" and later he would go and tell the Jews that it was Jesus who healed him. This happened in our lives too. People perceive only what they want to perceive. We are sometimes too preoccupied with our prejudices and convictions and refuse to appreciate the goodness and beauty in the people around us. Are we too critical of those who are more popular and successful than us and find faults with the situations and circumstances around us? It is time for us to appreciate a colleague for a good job done instead of criticizing them for being late in completing the assignment.